Welcome to the True Love Secrets Revealed online series. Today we have PJ with us. I am so happy to have him here. This is my second time interviewing him. He was part of our, I believe, first summit, and it was beautiful. The ladies were sending me messages of how much they loved his talk, and it's just the people that follows PJ are very unique. They are amazing. They're very loving and kind, and they are all about self-development. So enough of that. Let me say a little bit what PJ is about. Actually, you should go to his website, pjwisdom.com. It's going to be on the link because he has so many accomplishments and praise, and he's so experienced that for time purposes, I'm just going to say a little bit, but I don't want you to miss on everything he has to offer because this man rocks. He's brilliant. So he's an award-winning, highly recognized international speaker, coach, trainer, and a leading authority on resilience and overcoming obstacles. He's the go-to mindset advisor for many company executives, entrepreneurs, professional athletes, actors, military, law enforcement personnel, and more. Welcome, PJ. So happy to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm always glad to be here with you and always excited to share a little ideas or wisdom for ladies who are looking for love.
Yes, I know you have so much wisdom. Today, I would like to talk a little bit about dating. I am always tempted about asking you about resilience because I think resilience is so important in dating and in life in general. I mean, it's so important. So I am not sure. I'm going to leave it up to you if you want to talk about resilience and why it's so important to develop that character trait when we are dating, or if you want to go to the nitty gritty and go on the how-tos for dating. I know you have amazing insight. You have amazing insight on everything. So I think I'll be humble this time and put it on your court. I won't pretend I know what to ask.
Well, we'll play together, right? So we'll
Yes.
just have a great dialogue and conversation. So let me just jump in with a quick idea. Like so many times, we as people would love to be in a relationship, but we quit, or we get afraid, or we run away. And so these demonstrate a lack of resilience, right? What happens is the resistance happens, and that resistance can be, I'm scared, I'm worried. What if they judge me? I don't like what I look like. And so what happens is we put all of the attention into the resistance and we don't put it into the resilience. And resilience is born from commitment. So what are we actually committed to in those moments? We're committed to being safe by hiding out, by not dating because we're afraid to be judged, and by just playing small because what if somebody actually sees how amazing, wonderful, and loving I really am? And so, but I've shared that with people before and I've been shot down. And so I'm just going to stay over here and be safe. So I'm committed to safety instead of, no, I actually really want to be in a healthy, happy, loving relationship where there's laughter and there's friendship and there's intimacy and there's connection and there's safety. And this is what I'm committed to. And when we change our commitment, the level of resilience goes up equally. And so how committed are you to getting what you really want? And if you really are committed to getting what you want, what areas of your life will that start to impact? Will it impact your psychology? Will it impact your ability to communicate? Will it impact your ability to resolve and solve problems? Will it impact your ability to be patient and attempt at greater understanding? Will it impact your what you eat? Will it impact how you go out? Will it impact whether or not you do meditation? Will it impact? What does it impact? It depends on what you're actually committed to. Fear or a life filled with love.
I love it. I love it. It always goes down to that to me. It's either
Yeah.
fear or love. It's either fear or love. We are either motivated by fear or by love. I really like what you said, and I think it's going to be so useful because it's a big, big distinction. Sometimes we don't understand that that whatever we are committed to, we are going to get results in that area. So you explained it beautifully, and you know, I guess we are all, that is the fight that we are all at different levels trying to win, is, you know, which voice I'm going to be listening to, is the fear or the love. And we are here to help you, to give you a fresh approach, and just to support you to choose love over fear.
Yeah, I
Because
love love, right? I love love. And I want people to recognize that virtually every emotion is a motivator, except apathy, right? We always ask, well, what's the opposite of love? And some people say hate or anger or fear, right? But love and hate and anger and fear are all motivators. They motivate you to take some kind of action or inaction, one way or the other. Apathy, though, is like, I just don't really care, right? But the question is, are people actually really truly apathetic when they say they don't care? Or are they actually just covering fear with that blanket of apathy, right? Like a disguise of apathy. Oh, I'm pretending like I don't care. I'll bet you actually really do care. I'll bet you're just scared of getting rejected. I'll bet you're scared of being hurt. I'll bet you're scared of not of putting yourself out there and opening up your heart and not actually getting back what you want. And so you shut down to protect yourself. Listen, there's only two kinds of people in the world. There are free people and there are slaves. Free people make conscious choices based on what they want and what their commitment level is, and they move in that direction. Slaves are reactionary, and all action, all reaction is a slave action. All reaction is a slave action. So if I'm afraid and I react by running away, I'm in slave mode in that moment. Not necessarily you personally. The conscious mind makes decisions for what you want. It's the unconscious mind that sometimes takes over and says, hey, we're scared we're going to get heartbroken again. So let's just hide in our little hovel. Let's just tuck away and pretend like we don't really care. Let's just say we don't ever want to find love again. But I don't believe that, because I genuinely believe from a deeper spiritual level, from a deeper psychological level, from a deeper emotional level, we want that connection. We want to be part of the tribe. We want to be part of the community. We want to be wanted. We want to be loved. We want to be accepted. We want to have friends. We want to have that connection. We want somebody to understand us. We want to be brought into the whole, not out here separated in part. Even if you're an introvert, even if you're a deep, deep, deep introvert, it probably is nice to occasionally have one or two really close people that get you and understand you, that you can spend a little time with. And then if you need to retreat back to a little hideout for a little while, that's okay too. But most people aren't this bad of an introvert, you know? So all reaction is a slave action. And that means you, the conscious you, is a slave to what the unconscious mind is doing to you, saying, hey, that's scary. Don't do that. Let's do this instead. Let's just hide.
Right. Oh my goodness. So many things are popping up for me. I really love what you said about that the opposite of love is not hate. I love that. It's a great distinction as well. And I also want to say that you and I know that our audience, they are not in that level. They are not apathetic. Is that a word in English?
They're not apathetic. Yeah, that's right. Apathetic.
If
Yeah,
they are here, they are listening, you are good. You are good. You are not
yes.
apathetic. You are good. And then the other thing that I really wanted to collaborate a little bit, if I may, is what you said about, being slaves. I remember, I was just thinking in my head, I remember when I was in my 30s and I thought I was making a lot of decisions based on, look, I have a song for every decade of my life. So the song of the 30s was I Did It My Way, the Robbie Rosa version. I even had my singer. It wasn't the Frank Sinatra version. And that was it. That was me, I did it my way. In my 20s, I came by myself to the States and I did it my way. And then doing the work, deeper work, trying to, to break free from constraints. I realized that a lot of decisions that I have made on my early 30s were, I call it trauma informed, but it's also the same. I think it relates completely to the concept that you are saying from a place of slavery. I
Yes.
thought I was being free and playing on my sovereignty, but actually I was acting from fear, from all the barriers in my unconscious mind. So I think that is a very important work to do, to ask ourselves. Again, it's coming from fear or it's coming from love.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful North Star. It's such a simple tool,
Yes.
but it's so powerful. I
So,
love.
so then the question becomes, right? If any of us realize, okay, hold on, I'm coming at this from fear. That means I'm not in control. My brain is controlling me. What do I want instead? So we want to take that opportunity to look at the contrast of what I feel like I'm being forced to do or forced to feel. And I don't want to feel this. What do I want to feel instead? And when you shift that, you go, I would rather feel this, then you can shift into that feeling in that moment. And many people are going to say, well, that idea of turn that frown upside down, make it your sad face into a glad face, right? And so instead of doing that, sometimes people have to go from negative and hurt and scared and afraid to neutral. So let's shift our brain into something neutral. Let's just neutralize it. Literally think about something else. I remember one time getting in a conflict with I don't know how long ago this was, close to 15 years ago, probably, with a boss that I had, brand new boss. And we had a disagreement on something that she was telling me I was doing wrong, but I was actually trained in it and she wasn't. And so I went back and looked, and sure enough, I was doing it right. Somebody's at my door. But we're going to keep going. So on the way home, I was studying the mountains. I live in Tucson. I was studying the mountains. They're
Beautiful.
pinks and purples and reds and blues during the sunset. And I was on the way home and I was studying those. And instantly, all the stress and suffering and struggle just left me, right? It just settled. And when I finally got home and I got out of the vehicle, I was just like, oh, I can breathe again. Like I'm not angry and hurt and upset because I consciously knew that I need to neutralize my brain. And then as soon as I neutralized my brain, I was able to shift and think positive thoughts about her again. So it's the exact same. If any of the ladies that are listening feel like they're in reaction mode or they're in fear mode or they're making decisions based on like just keeping themselves safe, if they go, no, I don't want to feel this anymore, I want to feel this other thing. If they don't have the ability to shift to the other thing quickly, neutralize, think about something completely different. When you neutralize and you go, okay, actually, now I feel like I can make that next step over, then start thinking about the positive again. Don't just think about it, feel it, right? Because when we feel it, feelings are what initiate the action. And so once I feel it, then I go, oh, my emotions drive my actions. And so which actions do I want that are getting me the result that I want? Well, if there's a particular result I want, then I have to behave in a particular way. I have to do certain actions. So that means I have to control that emotion. And how do I control that emotion? By choosing what I'm going to think about, right?
Right.
And so by controlling what your mind is thinking, then all of a sudden you open up the possibility to have really good feelings. I don't have to do that as much anymore because they go, oh, what would I rather feel instead? And they go, well, I'd rather feel love and gentleness and patience. And I go, oh, well, I've felt all those before. So let me just turn those on right now. We literally have the ability to control our emotional state. And if anybody's watching you, your eyes sparkle when you talk. You have such joy in your heart that comes
Wow.
out through your eyes. And so when we have that sparkle in our eyes, we have that joy in our heart, we have that lightness to our step, we're more attractive to other people, right? And there's a greater connection. So you're not faking it till you make it. Instead, you're becoming it, right? Instead of being like, oh, I feel all sad and so, but I got to put on a happy face, right? That's so fake. It doesn't feel real. What if instead you neutralize the negative and then you open up to the real, genuine feeling of the positive? And then all of a sudden people felt it too. When you feel it, others feel it. And when others feel it, they're going to will attract like. Do you want to attract somebody who's sad and depressed and down? Or do you want to attract somebody who's vibrant and energetic and loves life as much as you do. Not just you, Natalia, but your audience, everybody who's listening.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. I love what you said. And if there is anybody there that is a little bit resistant of this idea of us having control over our thoughts, I doubted, but what was coming up for me when you were talking was people have been doing it forever, because what praying is, you are in a yucky place. Let's say I don't know, somebody has, back in the day, they had a sex addiction and they wanted to have sex with some married women, and that was forbidden. It is still today. Well, not as much as before, but anyway, let's not get there. And they would pray. So the prayer was a way to get control of those thoughts and neutralize them, and then follow the guidance of the teacher in any religion or culture. I think that is a norm, that there is a praying time, there is a meditation time, there is a time when you talk your problems or your worries away, and then you shut up and listen. And that's so I think it's as old as people, probably.
Yeah, and to add to that, to maybe make it a little bit more relevant to the ladies that are listening,
Yes, please.
there is the same principle, which is I want to feel better, but I just can't stop thinking about this one thing. I want to feel better, but my mind just keeps ruminating on all the things that I don't like about myself, right? And
Right.
so the problem is that their unconscious mind doesn't want to release control of the conscious mind to choose to feel better, because they're afraid that if they feel better, they're not going to be in control of the negative pieces. So they want to clamp down on the thinking and remembering the negative, so that if they hold on to the negative, they remember the negative, they won't put themselves out there and get rejected. So let me just keep remembering how ugly I am. Let me keep remembering how not unworthy I am. Let me just keep remembering like how undesirable I am. Let me just keep remembering that I don't matter in this world. Because if I hold on to these things, then I don't put myself out, and I have the potential to break my own heart or get my heart broken. But as long as you hold on to these, this is what you're committed to. And if you're committed to the fear and the sadness and the worry, and I'm not valuable, I don't matter, nobody cares for me, I'm not desirable. If this is where your commitment is, you're going to be incredibly resilient against the positive emotions and actually putting yourself out there. You're going to resist. So resilience and resistance are sometimes opposites, and sometimes they're collaborating energies, and sometimes they're the same thing. So if I'm resilient against the positive, then I'm resistant against the positive. So I'm holding fast to the negative and the lack, and not being good enough, and not feeling worthy, and not feeling loved, and not feeling cared about, and not feeling like I deserve. This is where I'm going to put all of my attention. This is where my resilience is going to be. This is where my strength and my power is going to be. This is where my weight is going to be. It's exactly like trying to pull somebody out of the swimming pool. If I reach down and pull somebody out of the swimming pool, and I give them my arm, and they reach up and grab my arm, if they don't want to come out, I can't pull them out. But if they want to come out, they're going to come out fairly easily, because I'm going to pull them, they're going to pull with me. And so collectively, we're going to get out. So what happens is, if we get stuck here in the negative and we want to get into the positive, sure, we can pray. Sure, we can meditate. Sure, we can journal. Sure, we can neutralize, right? We can do all the things that you and I have talked about already. However, if they're committed here, this is just an anchor at the bottom of the ocean that's locked underneath a giant rock, and they're never going to be able to get it done. So they have to be willing to cut the cord, release the chain, untie the rope, anything. It's not the anchor, the sadness, the negativity, the fear that's the problem. It's the belief in it. It's the attachment to it. It's the buy-in to it. It's the fact that they make it be real instead of, oh, that's just a thought. Is it actually real? It's just a thought. Oh, I get it. It's just a thought, but is it real? Well, it's a thought that makes me feel a particular way, right? But is it real, or is it self-imposed? Not from the conscious mind, but from the unconscious mind that's designed to keep you safe. And so it's going to hold on to that negative, because if it lets go of the negative, you could be out here and like open up your heart, and you could be enjoying yourself, and then you could get shot down, and then it goes bad again. And we don't want that. So it's going to hold
Right.
tight. So this has to mean that you, the person listening right now, has to say, no, I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel scared. I don't want to feel limited. I don't want to feel unworthy. I know who I am. I know what would I bring, what I would bring if I was in a really, truly healthy, loving relationship. I know who I really am. I know what my heart really wants to do. I know how I'd like to communicate. I know that I want to be patient. I know that I want somebody to be patient with me. I know that I want this intimacy. And so this is what I'm committing to. And the energy level goes up, and we talk about frequencies, right? Raise your frequency, raise your vibe, right? And that's what excitement is. Excitement and joy and love and patience, they're all higher vibe energies. And if we go, no, I don't want to feel this anger. I want to unattach to this anger that's holding me down and drowning me and keeping me unhappy. I want to lift up. I want to send up the hot air balloons, baby, right? I want to rise up. And so I can see everything and I can express myself fully. And this is where the love is. And the only way you're going to get here is to choose a different commitment. Am I committed to fear
Right.
and safety, or am I committed to love and opportunity?
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but
Thank
it's
you
like
so much.
addiction. You use sex addiction. Cigarettes are the same thing. Food is the same thing.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
television is the same thing. They're all just addictions. And so if we say, well, I say that I want this, but I'm giving all the attention to the cigarettes. I
Right.
say I want this freedom, but I'm giving all the attention to the fear, right?
Yeah.
Until you go, no, I don't want to smoke that cigarette. I want to be here. No, I don't want to eat that food. I want to be here. No, I don't want to be sad and alone on a Friday night. I want to be here.
Right.
Until we make that change.
And PJ, sorry to interrupt you.
No, I get excited. You got to interrupt.
I'll,
Otherwise, go
I'll,
on.
I'll tell you what's coming up for me, because maybe you can help the ladies a little bit with this. So there is a commitment. We are committed to being sad, or to love or fear. Let's keep with those
Sure.
two.
Keep it
So,
easy.
for
Yeah.
consistency. And so we are, in order to snap out of fear and to jump like a high-rise balloon, I love that what you said, to love and to stay there. So, or said in other words, in order to reclaim our resilience, because I think we do have it innately in us, there are going to be some kind of character traits that they are going to have to build to stay there. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
So what do you think well, resilience could be one. What other character trait you think it's important to build in order to feel the fear, do it anyway, but then remain safe there? Because if somebody just how am I thinking? If somebody just grabs the arm and jumps out of the water, but if that person has been in water her whole life and it's her comfort zone, she may be wobbly on firm terrain. Her skin may get burned by the sun because she hasn't been out there. So she will have to learn to put sunblock on, and to get shoes so she doesn't get maybe some glass on her foot, something like that. So what are the kind of character traits that are important, mostly geared towards love and dating and relationships, that will be important for them to learn?
So it's actually a perfect question, because the free
Okay.
gift that I'm giving is that my 117-page ebook called 5 Ways to Date Yourself and One Big Reason Why.
Yes.
Why you should. And so the question really comes down to, how does a woman identify the true her and live in that true her, instead of identifying the fear self and believing that to be the truth? Okay. And so one of the ways, and this is in the book, is that you really want to be able to say, this is what I like, and be able to stick to it. No, I don't like that. Yes, I love this. I'm not okay with that, but I'm interested to try this new thing. And so when they absolutely know who they are, and by knowing who they are, what we're talking about is not just things that you like, but we're talking about things that you truly believe in. We're also talking about your value structure. What do you value? Like if you ask me, well, what are some of your greatest values? Almost always kindness comes out first. Well, if kindness is one of your greatest values, then if you're over here in the fear, you're not actually being kind to yourself. Oh, but I'm kind to other people. Sure. But you want to be kind to yourself, and you want to ensure that you're only letting people into your life that are kind. So you want to be able to stop for a moment and go, well, what are my values? What is important to me? And just keep asking yourself, what's important to me in a relationship? What's important to me in a relationship? Write them down. I mean, it won't take long, right? Well, what's important to me in a relationship? This, and this, and this. What else is important to me in a relationship? This, and this, and this. What else is important? Keep doing the what else is important to me in a relationship. Change it even to say, what else is important to me in a loving romantic relationship or a deep emotional connected relationship? What kind of relationship do you want? Because when you define the kind of relationship, you're instantly revealing some of your values. And so then what you're doing is you're ensuring that you are these things, you are conveying these things in the world, but you're also only allowing those kinds of things into your life when you start dating. Because what happens is women's standards should be up here, but they're often way down here because they want somebody in their life so bad that they're willing to accept less than best, right? But remember, the other thing that you want to do is if you want somebody who's, got all these beautiful qualities, then we also want to look at ourselves and say, okay, do I have those qualities? And if I don't, how do I include those into my everyday life, in my relationships? How do I make them, or not make them? Let me change it. How do I release them? How do I unlock them? Because they're already in you. The question is, what's been holding them down? What's been like a big wet blanket that's keeping that expression of your truth? So make sure that you've got those. And then when you go, well, if I want this kind of person, what would they want from me? How would I want to show up? This again isn't becoming somebody new. This is going, oh, well, let me find it inside of me. Let me see what's been holding that expression of truth and love and kindness and patience and generosity and understanding down. Let me release the things that are holding me back and open up. So it's just about finding your values and then identifying, oh, am I living by those? And then not only that, it's also ensuring that you're putting the standards out there that says, well, this is actually what I'm looking for. And the reason that I'm good enough for this is because for a man like that or a person like that, I'm going to show up in these ways also. So really sit down and take some notes on what's important to you. What is it that you're looking for? And do you have those features yourself? And then also, if that's what you got, what would you give? You got to have a list of what you would give. And you can't just be like, oh, if I get this, I'm going to give that. No, you have to start by giving it. You have to start by becoming it. Not becoming it as in, oh, I'm not it, but you start by releasing it. Let me say it that way, uncovering it,
Right.
releasing it from inside you already. Because if it's what you want, it's already in there.
Right.
Did that make sense? Did I offer what you're looking
Yes,
for?
and I love the word you gave me the other day when we were talking, the reclaim.
Oh, right. Talk about that. Why don't you talk about that? Why did you like it? What does it mean to you?
Well, I mean, like what you were saying, like we already have it. It's just a matter of unlocking it or reclaiming it.
Yeah, I actually like it too, because if we look at the difference between uncovering it or revealing it or releasing it, that's one thing, right? If I release it, sure, there's a sense of freedom there, but
right.
reclaiming it is like, hey, no, this is mine. I'm empowered with it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm empowered with it. I'm imbued with it. I
It's
like
that
do
queen
it.
energy.
Yes, it's like queen energy, right? Absolutely. And
Yeah,
a woman is never going to be in her queen if she's afraid.
absolutely not. You're
A,
so right.
a queen is the person who stands in that presence and is still, even when there's chaos around,
Right.
right? And that only happens for anyone if their mind is quiet And one of the ways that we can get our mind to be quiet is when we're like in the chaos of our mind, we're in that mental maze, we're worried about what we're going to say, we feel like we're tripping over our words. Instead, take a moment, shift out of your brain, feel your face, feel your head, feel your neck, feel your chest, feel your back, feel your shoulders, your arms, feel your body. Let everything, all the energy and attention settle in your body. And we can go deeper than that, but if you let it settle in your body, and you let it settle into your emotional center in your body. So head to body, body to emotional center, and then in that emotional center, you let it express out, you feel it, so that as you communicate with others, they feel it also. This is a way of getting out of your head and being in a sort of stillness. There is another step in there, but if we can get the ladies to get to this place, it's fantastic. Because the mind will get quiet and the heart will open up, and they'll be more authentic. They'll reclaim that emotional power. They'll reclaim that queen energy.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. So the gift that PJ is talking about, it's going to be on the description box. So you should have to click and then get it. And it's going to guide you to his website, and he has a YouTube channel also. And it's all branded the same, PJ Wisdom.
Yeah, PJ's Wisdom, PJS Wisdom, all one word, PJSWISDOM.com. The only one that's different is Instagram, and it's the PJ's Wisdom.
Oh, yes, you're the other. Yes. So Instagram, it's beautiful. And would you like to say something else before we go apart?
Yes. Give me a sec. I want it to come through me instead of from me.
Yes.
Love is the expression of your truth. And it does not come from you. It comes through you. And as a woman, if she wants to influence a man or those around her, if she just opens up and feels it coming through her, and she speaks that truth that's coming through her, then she'll never want for words, and she'll never question who she is, and she'll never doubt herself in that moment. So instead of letting it come from you, let it come through you, and then the truth will be spoken.
Oh, love it. Thank you. Let it come through you, not from you. Big difference. I love it. Thank you so much, Vijay. You have no idea how much I thank you.
Thank you. I love you a ton. You're amazing. And all women that are here listening to you are incredibly fortunate because you are the best.
Oh, thank you. I receive it, and you are the best.
Thank you.